Hello, everybody. Welcome to Anime Sickos. It's the podcast for geniuses and the only podcast. On Anime Sickos, we look at the four pillars of modern misery: anime, gaming, posting, and jobs. I am Tom, an anime sicko.
I am Joe, an anime sicko. I am currently lead baby scrum master. I have my son with me. You might hear some cooing. He's hiccuping currently.
That's called agile development when the baby hiccups.
Yeah, for sure. He currently is set up with what we call his friends, which are like these three dangling people. Like they look like little cartoon guys, hanging from his bouncer. One of them looks like me. One of them looks like him. One of them is just a bear.
Hell yeah. Mama bear. No, fucking, that's not funny. Is Winnie gonna become one of those people who starts singing Mama Bear?
I don't think so.
That's good. I would be really disappointed and honestly shocked. We are. Every time we do one of these calls and Ivan's in the room, I talk to him as though he can hear me. He can't. I'm coming in the headphones, and as though he can see me, he can't. He's on a little bouncer on the ground, and I'm on the standing desk on a monitor that's way up high. But
he knows you're there.
Yeah, I'd like to think that. This is me reiterating on mic that I once Ivan's portable, we want to host you for a get together. We want to have you over and make you food and such. And I'm saying it on mic so that you're held responsible.
That's good. I on the same subject, it's related. We are currently considering if we need to get a second fucking car, just because of mobility things. We don't know yet what we're doing, but it's just like, you know, the evil object you don't like, bring another one into your home.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that you know, in my own life, my decision making about a child. What do I? A serious concern is that, like, all the evil things that I hate and would never do, like, they're easy to not do when you don't have a little guy who's implicitly saying, like, you gotta do that evil thing, man. Like, you gotta move to the suburbs. You gotta have
drive him
cars.
to swim lessons. I have to. Did you see that tweet thread by that guy who's like, my family was in a car accident and we were okay because our car was huge. Parents, you must buy the biggest car you could ever get your hands on. And it's like, oh man, we are so cooked. This is such an arms race until there is like no livable public street.
Yeah, it was truly, I mean, like, any thread by a blue check is going to make you lose faith in humanity. You shouldn't read them. But, like, this one was, like, really bad because someone said basically what you just said. It's like, this is just, you're just advocating for a never-ending arms race of car bigness that will end up with every car instantly killing every pedestrian it comes across.
And the takeaway is, yes, as long as it's not my family, we're fine.
Yeah, the guy, yes, and also there's another thing that guy said in response that made me, like, puke. Which was just, and he did this so casually, you could tell that it was like something he was just doing, you know, as he was like taking a shit or something. Because it was like all lowercase, no punctuation. Because someone was like advocating, like, this is an arms race that has no good end. We need to have smaller cars in general. And he's just like, not realistic. So why bother thinking about it? And it's like, not realistic. Like, what? People just need to decide to... Whatever, fuck this. We're doing an episode. We have a patron to thank before we do the episode, though. And that patron is named Betsy Cardinal.
Thank you, Betsy. Is it $5 American dollars?
Yes, these are real dollars. This is not austerity bucks yet. Pounds are austerity bucks already. It also could be that their name is Betsy Cardinale, which Italiano, in which case espresso, marinara, mozzarella.
I was walking around the other day, and there was like a college-age woman just looking normal, walking, and then she was on her phone, not saying anything because she was listening. And then when she spoke in the loudest Italian I've ever heard, and it was so fucking funny, man. You're never ready for someone to be Bugs Bunny.
Mozzarella, prosciutto, gabagool, Tony Soprano. Very funny. Yes, yeah. When you just think someone's normal.
I thought they were normal. And they were hiding it.
Okay. So today, we're gonna do this is a 2-segment episode. We're doing that on purpose, and we wanted to do more 2-segment episodes because it gives us more creative freedom. It lets us do topics and segments that don't have the juice for a full episode.
Plenty of stuff's got juice for 30 minutes, an hour. No, why commit to ourselves? Shackle us to the hours.
It's because I mean there's good shit that only takes half an hour to get through. I mean, and to stretch it is just going to dilute it. So being able to do a 2-segment episode is really strong. And so the thing there that makes it hard is what's the other half, and that's why we started ranking the game mechanics in a tier list. Yeah, the thing about that is it's easy for that to get buried because, like, what are we going to be most excited about? The ideas that can support a full hour. So we're going to do those like first, and then that means that weeks and weeks go by, we don't do any game mechanics ranking, we don't do any 2 segments, and even worse, sometimes stuff that we think is half an hour, we're so on point that it ends up we talk for an hour and we can't do the second segment. So we're going to be modest and eat our vegetables first. We're doing a 2-segment episode, and we're going to make sure that's the case, because we're doing the game mechanics tier list ranking first. That's what we're doing here, folks. We're going to fucking rank all the game mechanics. We mentioned last time that it would only probably take 2 or 3 segments to get through the entire list.
We got through half of all of them, I think.
I think so. We're probably going to be done at the end of this segment, and then we're going to have like the main segment of the episode after this. So let's say we just get to it. Let's start off with, and so this is a very good mechanic, and this kind of goes with, we talked about jump last episode. Jump is a classic. Pressing jump right when you land on an enemy and getting a new jump instead of just a little bounce.
The little bounce sucks. The little bounce, why do you even have the game on? Like, it's not fun. Although I will say, when you get to do some bullshit because you time something right off of like a turtle, get someplace you weren't supposed to be, you feel like a genius.
You feel like it lets a good player be good. It rewards excellence. These days it seems like standards are going down across the board. These days, the kids, you hear about this? The kids in school can't read, and the teachers aren't allowed to fail them. So there's going to be a lot of adults who can't read in 5 years. It's wild. That's not the case with pressing jump right when you land on an enemy, because you got to time that right. Otherwise, you get, as you say, the shitty bounce, which is like nothing. It's honestly, it's cosmetic. You can't go anywhere with that.
Yeah. Did you ever play Super Mario RPG? Because
I sure did.
Okay, you did. Did you ever get like? Because there was like items in there that were, or like the jump scarf or jump badge, where basically if you were able to pull off something like 100 consecutive jumps on an enemy using that Mario spell, you would get this item. As a child, I thought that was a joke. I thought they were like, yeah, you can eat the moon, whatever.
Yeah.
Did you ever get that?
I don't think so. I mean, if I did, I forgot. Which probably not. And also, I played these games as an adult. Those types of things are like child tasks, because
correct,
they sort of ask the player, like, do you have anything else going on in your life? And if the answer is yes, then they're just like, whoa, then give this up. Don't worry about this. This is not important.
If you're a kid, though, this is 60% of your brain.
Exactly.
Like, you're just thinking, like, 100 just seems unreasonable.
Like, if I was like 12 when I played Final Fantasy X, dodging the lightning 200 times would be like not a problem. Like, what else am I fucking doing? My homework? Anyway, so jumping on an enemy right when you land on him and getting a new jump. This is the main mechanic of one of the great levels of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, the bonus level Bopopolis, where you basically have
I know exactly what you're fucking talking about. Yes.
you have 0 platforms. It's all enemies.
I think Super Mario World had like a secret area where all the levels were called like tubular and far out, and I think a lot of that also had similar precision jumping where it's like you fucking can't do it unless you're hitting jump off of each paratroopa perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I put this? When I have to do it with that level of precision, it stresses me out. But if I do it just because I'm feeling it, I feel smart.
Well, okay, this is true, but consider this is like a bonus challenge level, so it's not like this is like something you're gonna come into contact with in the normal game. You have to choose to do this, but and also further, don't you remember what it felt like to fucking beat Bopopolis? And you're just like, I guess I'm God. Like, I guess I'm the king of all shit. This is the best feeling I've ever had.
I know exactly the feeling, which is like the very end of it. I went blind and I don't know what I did. Like, it was just like, you did it. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, good thing I got all the collectibles because I will never do that again.
Huh. Okay, well, we're different strokes, I guess.
I would put it at B. I would put it at B because it lets good players be good. But I'm not willing to back off of it's stressful.
You're willing to put it at the same level as Jump. It is as good as Jump.
Well, R's can't exist without Jump.
The reason I say it is because everyone fucking yelled at us for putting air dash in C for the same reason, which is you can't air dash if you don't jump first.
People are always going to yell at us.
Oh, yeah. That's also another thing. Everyone listening, don't fucking say, how could you put X in this tier? How could you put...
Every day is like we're shaking the Etch-a-Sketch, man.
And also, how could you... Like, that's what this is. That's what you're listening to. Like, this is the how. Like, we already fucking answered it. Yeah, let's do it B. I think that if you're playing a game, you jump on an enemy and you jump right as you land on it and you don't get a second new jump, I would feel bad. I'd be like, this is, you know how like people talk about game feel? It's like, it's so hard to describe what constitutes game feel, but you just know this is it. Like if I'm playing a game and I'm like, this is like Bopopolis, I'll bop between all the enemies. And it's just like, you can't do that. I would puke. So yeah, I think you're right, B. All right, what's next?
Next up, we got missables. By which I mean when you are playing an RPG, or I guess really any genre, and there is something really cool that you can just miss and never fucking get. The experience of like, that was on disc 1, loser, you ain't getting it. So I'm of two minds on this, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
On one hand, it sucks. Like, it just does. It feels bad to know that there's a treasure chest you can't get because it exists in Earth 2, where you got it. That said, this is like primo complaining to your buddies shit. Just like, here's all the fucking stuff I didn't get in Final Fantasy IX. And then they're like, yeah, that's all. I didn't even know there was an Excalibur 2. Did Swords always have sequels?
Okay, this is one of those things, this is what a creative partnership is really all about. You know, this is why I don't do a solo podcast, folks, because I could never think about this. My thought on missables is, fuck them. Hate that shit. F tier missables. Kidding me? I had to give up. I was enjoying Final Fantasy X-2 a lot. I was playing it without a guide. Huge mistake. Because I was like 2/3 through, and I'm like, this seems kind of funny. What's going on? And I look it up, and it's like, oh, you've missed like 2/3 of the game because you didn't talk to a guy in the fucking like high road who said some shit that you don't care about. And it's like, oh, I had to talk to that guy? There was 1 minute that I was able to do that, and now I'm fucked, and I can't see the real ending? Okay, well, I guess I'm not playing it. So I thought, my thought on Missables was F tier for sure. But man, complaining rules. As we've talked about, complaining kicks ass. As you said to me before, not only is it just complaining, because you can complain about something annoying in a game. Missables gives you like hyper-specific complaint topics.
This is not a like 100% on target missable. I think it's in the same larger category. which is in Monster Hunter, you can't trade monster parts. So you have the experience of like trying to farm, like, I don't know, like lizard dicks, and then you can't get them. And then your buddy you're playing with is like, dude, I am
Drowning
up
in
to my
lizard dicks.
asshole in lizard dicks.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to complain, and it's honestly free podcast topics. It's just like,
Yeah, it's definitely our initial thrust, which is like, what really makes me want to bitch about the game I just played? Oh, I liked it, to be clear. I just have to complain.
yeah. I do think like whoever thought missables up, I get kind of why it might seem like a good idea that isn't just cruel, because it's like it rewards a player for being curious and like trying stuff, and it makes the reward matter because I mean it's like I'm playing Yakuza Infinite Wealth right now, and like a lot of times you'll get a reward for something, but like I don't know, you just did it at the wrong time, and like the reward is baby shit to you now. Like
Right,
it's like
the locker keys found at a wrong time.
yeah, and it's like, oh, thanks, I guess. But like a missable, like that is like the reward is always impactful. I get
Yes,
that.
I guess we should
However,
also just reify that we mean missable, we mean like not an X potion. We mean like a real ass game changer.
yeah, like a big ass weapon, a cool weapon,
A character.
a character, yeah, something that affects the plot, like something that lets you get the like the real ending. So I get that it could be in theory interesting, but what it ends up being is yeah, it is just the infuriation engine. The first time I played Final Fantasy VI, I didn't do a lot of stealing because stealing fails constantly, and I would like to do something that succeeds.
That's a bummer, Tom, because all the good shit is locked behind a menu item that has a 5% success rate.
Yeah, and so I was like, how do I get this part's struggle? I'm struggling. What do I do? I look up at FAQ. It's like, okay, you got. First of all, I know we all have the Genji gloves, and I'm like, the what? And it's like, oh, you had to steal them. It's missable. You're gone now. Like you're fine. It's like, okay, so why did you
Buy
write that?
Locke, you're on the bench.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. In practice, the shit is so inscrutable that it's like impossible to organically run into these things. So it's just like if you are you playing with a guide the whole time or not? And like I'm not above going to a guide for like when I'm struggling or to just check up like before I move on. Like, is there any huge shit that I'm not seeing here that I would like to go to? I'm not above using a guide, but I'm not going to play it with a guide open the whole time because that's like, then why am I playing the game? I'll just read the guide. It's not like the fucking Ocarina of Time guide where like you can read the guide and the pictures are fun and it makes you want to play the game anyway. God damn it. Missable. It's okay. What do you think about D for missables?
I could do D or C. I would lean D because it is inherently like hostile game design a little bit. My perk with it is just like, when they hit you, you get to talk about it after. Like, it's not really a true benefit, so I'm open to D.
I'm thinking D because, yeah, it is bad, but I think we mentioned last time that like D tier is stuff that you can put a few D tier mechanics into your game and it won't ruin it. It's like, putting like a bitter flavor into food.
D tier is you're on thin ice, mister. You only get 4 or 5 or more of these.
Yeah, it's like the shitty. It's like the stinky scent in perfume. It's like it gives it character if there's just a little bit. Yeah, you're on thin ice, but that doesn't mean. So yeah, I can see missables giving a game a little, a little identity. It's like the game doesn't have to be your friend 100% of the time. I still will hate it, but like, yeah, I'll be able to text my buddy Joe and be like, motherfucker, you'll never believe what happened. So I had to have opened this chest that was empty. I had to have opened it 5 times in fucking disc 1 so that my guy would be like, opening something 5 times. That gives me an idea for a mousetrap that can catch 5 mice. So that later I could trade 5
is this
mice
a real
to
thing?
No, I'm making this up.
I was about to get very pissed.
It sounds real though, doesn't it? All right. Missables is a D tier. What's next? What are we doing next? Next up, let's go with fucking levels. I'm not talking about levels like in the game. I'm talking about like you leveling. Like your character has levels. Levels. What do you think about levels?
It's kind of the whole purpose, right? The whole shebang.
Yeah. When you get a level, having a level is good. You can talk about, you can make a joke about like being a level 20 wizard. That's sort of fallen off. People don't make that joke no more. But it's still like around when it comes back, which it will. You know what it is? It's a number that's going up.
It's a number going up because your level number goes up, and within that increment of 1, actually, there are lots of other stat increases. So it's +1, but it has a lot of momentum with it.
Pretty much the only downside I can think to levels is that they're not appropriate for every game. Like Mario doesn't level up. Or those should.
He should. It shouldn't do anything. Like there are no stats, but it should just tell you that like Mario's level 5 now. That I would really enjoy that.
Yeah, if you have a very high level Mario, then you can feel confident that you've attained the sexual archetype of fastest Mario.
Correct. Yes.
I'm thinking A tier for levels.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm not putting an S tier is, it's not for every game. Even if you put it in every game, like obviously Mario would be better with levels. It would be like, well, there wouldn't be. Actually, Mario does have levels. Mario RPG and Paper Mario, and levels kick A tier for levels for sure. Next up, staying on the topic, level ups where they tell you every single stat change.
Like in the message box.
Yes.
In battle.
Yes, like you leveled up. You're level 20. HP plus 10. MP plus 3. Attack plus 4. Defense plus 2. Fucking spirit plus 3. That shit.
I love this shit because I'm not going to go check the menu. Because I don't have a running total of where stats were the previous level. So, like, I appreciate, like, here are the patch notes on the stats. That's very effective.
It's fucking patch notes. Holy shit. Yes, yes.
It's also, just from a strategy perspective, you are constantly being reinforced with the type of stat growth each person has. So you're just kind of like, all right, I'm getting a sense of what they can do or what they are.
Yes. That's so big because a huge problem with JRPGs is characters feeling samey. You can't allow that to happen. You must have the characters be differentiated. And if you see like, oh, when Jenkins levels up, they get a lot of speed, like way more speed per level than anyone else. Like, oh, Jenkins is fast. I get it. Like that kind of thing. Like that's really like it seems like, isn't that like too simple? Like, aren't you an idiot if you need that? Like, yeah, man, we do need that. Gimme.
And the other thing that could occur when you're doing the play-by-play for each stat, I think Earthbound does this. I know other games have done it, but it's just like strength went up by 3. Whoa, defense went up by fucking 20. Like, I just love like when you get a critical stat increase, and
yes.
These are probably all planned, programmed at certain levels, but they just what it feels like, it's like you're leveling up, and then also a slot machine gets spun and you win.
Yes, dude. I was thinking exactly that because like, what makes levels great? Number goes up, obviously. Love that, but like. This happens in the old Dragon Quest because the Dragon Quests, the numbers are so low. It's not like Final Fantasy where the numbers are like
9999 by 10 hours.
Yeah. The numbers are small, so like when you get a level up, obviously that's good because the number goes up. But like sometimes they program the stat growth so that like a character is like weak in strength. Say they're they're like a mage or something, or like a thief or something. Their strength is low, And every time you level up, the strength goes up by like 1 or 2. But then like every once in a while, it's like strength up by 4. And it's like, oh, yes! I got the good one!
But then you think, like, was this a chance to get a stat up and it landed on strength? Because then I would much rather prefer it be magic or MP.
I think it's scripted. I'm pretty sure they do this shit in advance. Where it's just like, I mean, the way I kind of think about it is like, it's sort of like how the leveling in Dark Souls has diminishing returns after you hit a certain cap. Which, hey, I would say that the Dark Souls, like the Souls-like leveling, is a level up where you see every stat change, and even more so because you decide which stat change it's gonna be.
I actually think that's a different category. That's the Diablo style stat changes, which I do not fucking like, and I'll tell you why. Because regardless of whatever character you're playing, this is the dance you're always doing, which is there is a stat that is primarily my damage output, and I want that to be as high as possible. So the game just comes, how little health and toughness can I get away with? Like, it's just this balancing act the whole time. It doesn't matter if it's a barbarian or a sword. Like, you are just constantly balancing those two things. And for that reason, I would just rather have the game fucking balance it for me.
Okay. Interesting. Well, we'll rank that one later. Right now, we're ranking level ups where they say every stat change. It seems like we're both big on this. How big on it are you thinking? What tier are we putting this in?
A or S. The reason I say S is just because it's like the most correct way to communicate this mechanic.
Mm-hmm. Above levels themselves.
Correct. We're talking about total access to information. In the field of Platonic forms, in that dimension, leveling up, where they tell you all your stats, is leveling up. It is the correct state of leveling up.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I can put what you're saying into my own words here and make sure we both are on the same page, understand each other.
Level without that information is but a shadow cast from hell. But like this is the real deal.
Levels are good inherently, and have, but in the nebulous world of a level, the way that levels are handled specifically can be good or bad. This is the most goodest way. So yeah, no, I'm with you. S tier for level up, so they tell you every single stat change. Okay, and let's keep this train rolling. Level ups where they don't tell you anything.
Why let me level up, you disgusting pig?
When you don't know what, Joe, I've done this several times. And if you make the player do this, I think you should get executed. I have had to, for several games, Google what happens in game here when you level up. Because, like, if it just says level up on the screen and that's it, I'm just like...
Final Fantasy VIII is like a really big offender of this, right? Because levels...
I don't know what levels do, dude. What they do is they make the enemies scale up. Right,
because your actual growth comes from your Excel junctioning.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, yeah, you can get... your stats are all from junctioning GFs, which we put in E tier correctly. How did you put junctioning GFs in E tier? Listen to the last episode. So, like, the only thing levels do is... like, that's how the game decides how strong of a monster to throw against you. So the higher level you are, the higher strength the monsters are. So it's only bad. Like, it just hurts you. It's so frustrating. And, like, I was playing Final Fantasy 12 lately. Joe, I was talking about how much I loved that one. It was a great one. The remaster makes it so much better. So many quality of life increases. I'll tell you one thing that didn't make my life more quality is that when you level up, it just be saying level up on the screen, and that's it.
Right, because their intent is to keep the party moving, right? Like, the design choice there was like, you're going through a dungeon, your bunny lady levels up, you just keep rolling because you don't want to sit and look at a menu. That's wrong, though, because we need to know what the bunny lady stats are now.
You know what actually I think it is? I think it's a symptom of JRPGs that are sort of embarrassed of themselves. This is sort of the same thing about like how you were like sometimes Catch-22 is too clever, and I'm like it's a defense mechanism because it doesn't want to let the joke. It's not confident enough in being silly to just let the joke hang out on its own. It has to like sort of nudge you and be like good joke, right? I think a lot of JRPGs, especially as the sort of next gen, like the HD 3D, console generations came around, they were sort of embarrassed to have a game that was fucking little lines of text and spreadsheets, And
that's the best part. That's why Dragon Quest makes $1 million a second, though.
Yes. I mean, like, there's a reason this was a genre that made sickos go nutty, and it's because, like, it's the genre where you get the most numbies going up.
Also,
and obfuscating that is, like, it's truly evil.
And that's the wrong thing for JRPGs to be self-conscious about. Like, the thing they need to be more critical of themselves about is how every game takes 20 hours before you like get half of the menu available to you. So if the lines of what strength and whatnot going up is not a deal breaker for me. It does not look lazy. I enjoy it. I would prefer that certainly over I guess like a 10-hour movie that you don't even use the controller for.
This is true. I'm playing, like I said, I'm playing Infinite Wealth. I'm loving it, but like part of why I love it so much is that I've had to do like trauma memory separation where like I cannot allow myself to remember how fucking slow the start is. Level Ups Where They Don't Tell You Anything is so goddamn bad. It's so embarrassing. It's embarrassing. They are embarrassed to be making a game where you level up. I'm embarrassed to be
That's
playing
exactly
it.
what it is. When you don't show the stats, you're embarrassed that your characters are leveling up. You're hiding behind it. You're putting your light under a bushel basket.
And like you can say, and you know what it gives me the vibe of? It's corporate bean counters. It's the suits meddling. It's definitely someone being like, kids, these video game players these days can't read. Kids can't read. They don't want to see numbers. There's nothing fun about stopping the gameplay to look at a bunch of lines of text telling you which numbers went up by how much.
That's literally why kids can't read, though. You took that away, and now they can't read.
Yes, this is hooked on phonics. This is the kind that people want to do. And like, you're taking away the soul of your genre. That like, you gotta know that like, what are the normies gonna get? They're gonna get the gun game, okay? They're never gonna get a fucking Final Fantasy. Like, Final Fantasy VII was it. You're not gonna get that again. You are the freak genre. Lean into the freak. I'm putting this in F. I'm getting like morally outraged at Level Ups Where They Don't Tell You Anything.
I'm for this because I return to the central point. Like, why even have them if you're afraid to communicate the effects? You are ashamed of this behavior of yours.
Yeah. It's just I got a bad taste in my mouth with how bad Level Ups Where They Don't Tell You Anything is. I think I don't have the juice to continue ranking game mechanics. I think this is a good first segment, right?
Yeah. Let's put the pin in this one and move on to segment 2. Tom, I was reflecting the other day about how much I love selling out, and I assume you feel the same way.
Yeah, our independence as an artistic project is
for sale.
I mean, it's solely by circumstance. We did not choose this. We would love to be beholden to a corporate master.
If we could be the official frozen pizza of fuck that. Hold on.
Yeah, I know what you meant. We all got it. We're the DiGiorno sickos.
I was gonna say Red Baron, but that's fine.
Okay, I'm into Red Baron. Red Baron is pretty good. I like that it's like the only pizza named after a guy who's killed many men.
I love my frozen dinners called the Ghost of Kiev.
That guy was fucking fake, right?
It was fake, but it doesn't mean you're not getting like excited about frozen food. When the central like thing that the the associated person does is kill.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. What I think maybe the Gorton Fisherman has like he like got into a bar fight and it was one of those things where like the guy fell back and they hit their head on the ground in the wrong way and like I think he's killed. Anyway, we're still not beholden to corporate masters. We're about to do an ad read to you about independent art. It's a stepping stone to becoming corporate. I'll swallow my pride and do this ad. Folks, you like audio dramas, right? I sure hope so, because we do that shit.
If you say no, we'll literally cry. Like
we'll literally cry. And so, you know who else will cry? The fucking people who make the True Tales of the Illuminati, a full cast audio drama sitcoms about conspiracies gone wrong that follows a crew of goons as they bounce through history, snatching defeat from the jaws of other weirder defeats. What kind of shit has they done in previous seasons? They blew the secret of the pyramids. Does that mean they sucked the pyramid's dick? Listen and find out.
It's gone. They sucked it off.
In season 2, they failed a fake moon landing so badly they had to actually land on the moon. That's just like real life.
Yeah.
Now the Audioverse award-winning team. Yo, okay. That's really impressive. Not just because they won the award, but I can tell you that submitting your podcast for an Audioverse award is so fucking confusing. I've never been able to do it. So if they can do it, they have incredible workflow.
We tried to submit Shovel Quest for nomination, and they wrote back that because we said the word Star Wars, an assassin has been dispatched to our location, and we're fucked.
Yeah, we were banned. It was Marvel, not Star Wars. That was the thing. It's like, how come we're banned? There's plenty of Star Wars podcasts on this, whatever. We're getting off topic. Fucking the team needs money for a third season, folks, and where the goons, the crew, go up against the Enlightenment. That's right, folks. Reason is the font of goodness, and it's back to the 18th century to deal with the likes of, these are some fucking Europe names. I'm gonna just say I'm like an idiot. Dennis Diderot, Johanna Weishaupt, and Wolfgang Goethe. I know that one. I know Goethe is Goethe. Okay. I'm not an idiot. Can they match their scintillating wit, create an objective test of intellectual acumen? Kiss? Oh, you won't know unless they can raise the money. So head on over to truetalesteam.com/crowdfund if you want to support independent idiotic comedy. I do. I like dumb shit. This sounds pretty dumb. I think maybe you should check it out. You can listen to the first 2 seasons. That's True Tales of the Illuminati. Just like how a podcast would be. And they're paying us to say this, so you know they have good taste. They had a limited advertising budget. They chose to blow like a significant chunk on Anime Sickos. So that should tell you something about the tone and quality of their comedy.
Also, just the central premise of morons trying to do a task, flawless. Can be used in any context, always fun.
You know, we should ask if are there any philosophers that were 2 guys primarily? We should see if we can like get on this. Anyway, that's the True Tales of the Illuminati. They're making a 3rd season. They need to crowdfund it. truetalesteam.com/crowdfund. Check it out. Check it out. They're crowdfunding right now. Just do it.
Sicko mode, sicko mode, sicko mode. Sicko mode, sicko mode, sicko mode. Sicko mode, sicko mode, sicko mode. Sicko mode, sicko mode, sicko mode.
All right, so we will now begin our second segment, which is we're just going to rank some more game mechanics again. That last segment was really good. We're just going to do it again. That was a real slam dunk.
Yeah, also I was looking at our notes for the episode. I don't know what I was thinking. I sounded so confident that we had a second segment planned. We didn't.
I thought there was an email I just did not see. Okay, so what we're going to do is rank more game mechanics, which is good because we still had a few left over before completing all of them.
Yeah, but like if we go at the same pace that we did with the last segment, like this should be the last one and we'll have like the complete tier list at the end of this.
All right, can I pick the opening salvo that also continues our theme?
You sure can.
Full heal on level up.
Oh my god. This when I'm playing a JRPG and I see that leveling up gives me a full heal, I'm just like, I'm playing a good game.
Not that I play MMOs really anymore, but when an MMO did this, it was wonderful because it allowed you to do some real wacky shit. Because the game is not balanced around people suddenly getting full health out in the field, so you could do some really impressive like chaining of grinding enemies, some other goofy shit. And also, it just is like the best feeling. You're just like, I was getting kind of bored of the game, I guess, but now all the meters are full. So I guess I'm not bored now.
Yeah. You know what it is, Joe? It's more numbers going up. What did we like about level ups? So they tell you every stat change. Obviously, you get the +1 of the level went up. And, now we have the plus of all the stats. Well, also, your fucking HP and MP got plussed too. Like, it's just more numbers, more fun. I love it. And also, you know what I love is when like a character is getting pretty beat up and you don't have a ton of MP for healing spells or a ton of healing items, so you're like, I don't know if I want to use that, and then you look and you see that they're like really close to leveling up and you're
Yes.
like, oh, it's like a press your luck kind of thing. It's fun.
We should really say, when we say full heal and level up, the actual value is when you get your MP back. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. I love full heal and level. I mean, like, I'm trying to think of like what, from a gameplay perspective, what is the point of not giving you a full heal and level up?
To punish you, to make you feel bad, to make you confront your sins.
It sucks shit to me. I don't like that.
I would put it on the same tier as levels itself, because I think they should be hand in hand.
I totally agree. I do not think it is as impactful as level up, so they say every single stat change, because it is transient. You know, as soon as you get hit again, you will no longer be fully healed. It was fun. It was a really nice bonus one time. But the level ups where the stats are listed, those are like, I know I'm always going to have like 4 more attack than I used to. So like, every subsequent fight, I'm like, I have 4 more attack than I used to. Oh, yes. So that's why yes, I'm totally in agreement. Full heal and level up is in A tier along with levels, but below level up, so they say every single stat change. Love this. Can I pick the next one? I think I want to pick the next one.
Yeah, go for it.
Because you kind of opened the door. MP. Magic points, mana points, the stuff you use for your spells. MP, what do you think about it?
MP, when I'm playing a JRPG specifically, I think of mostly as a type of condensed HP that has to be used to heal. Like, that's the only...
Oh, it's like it's like you made your little chunks of health into zip files.
Yes, that's what it is.
Them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
And especially for your Entrant Odysseys, your sort of first-person dungeon crawlers, where they're very much marathons. I will say, those are also the same games where you spend, I don't know, I'd say the first third of the game just with no MP ever, because like your guys are low level, they can cast like one thing and then they have to take a nap. In Magic, people are effectively useless until they get a decent MP pool. So, like, if we're going to be talking about MP, are we comparing it against other resource systems?
We're taking it as it is. Just MP in general. I think that's how we have to take all of these, is we have to figure out their inherent worth. Like, what is it more good when MP's in a game? Do you like that? Do you like MP? I'm kind of, I didn't think I would, but now I'm thinking about this, like, I'm kind of like souring on MP as a concept, because here's why. One, as we've joked about before, it really is like the MP bar is like the most critical thing in a JRPG.
It is your savings account for health.
Yes, and also like if you have a mage character and they run out of MP, it's still health, because like even if they have health, they're dead. They may as well have been knocked out because they can't do anything. And also it tends to be, and maybe this is unfair to bring in because this is a different mechanic, but it tends to be that MP regenerating items and abilities are like way rarer.
Yes, every Final Fantasy game, ethers are very hard to get your hands on. The game design approach that I think most correctly balanced, like having MP to actually fucking use, but also like can't always be spending it willy nilly, is they made like Entrant Odyssey knockoffs for the Persona games. Like there's like a Persona 3 one and a Persona 4 one. And this is smart. When you start a fight, everybody has a little bit of temporary MP that is just for that fight.
That's nice. I like that.
That's great because in a dungeon crawler, you almost never want to be using nukes because that's health. That could have been health.
You know what, actually, I'm going to do? I'm going to put on our list of mechanics, use it or lose it resources, because I think that is its own thing.
So I would put MP at B or C. The reason I would put it at B over C is, like, if we're just taking the aggregate of all games that I've played that use MP as a function, I'd say most of them were fine.
Joe, I want to put this to you. I'm going to give you 2 counterexamples of RPGs that do not have MP. First of all, and I've complained about this game, it has a lot of problems, but this isn't one of them. Live Alive, the SNES JRPG, does not have MP. Every spell, and all you have are spells. You don't have a standard attack. You just have spells. Every spell you have is free. The only limiting factors is spells have ranges, so you need to be in range for a spell to work, and the stronger spells take longer to go off. So there are like ATB bars, where you have to wait real time. And so like the cost is the strong spell, you have to stand still for a while, and you might get hit, and if you get hit with an attack that moves you, the spell gets canceled. So there's a risk involved, but there is no MP. Everything is free. And I tell you what, like I said, there's a lot of problems with that game. I didn't love it, but they were not related to that part of the combat system. I never missed it.
You could be a caveman in that one, right? Like, isn't one of the
caveman? One of the stories is a caveman. His story is about he invents nutting. It's really bad.
It makes sense that he wouldn't have MP though, because magic didn't happen yet.
Yeah, but like fucking there's like a Final Fantasy guy who lives in like Kingdom. He's casting fire constantly, but it didn't cost any MP, and I don't miss it. I'm not like, where's my MP? Oh, I'd love to have a bar that got too low. Where's my bar? Similarly, Chrono Cross does not have MP. You just equip spells to your guy, and they can use the spells that are equipped to them once per battle. So if you think
ammo, like literally ammo.
Yeah, and they come back. They always come back at the end of the fight. So if you're like, I bet that Surge is going to need to heal 3 times per battle, you just fucking equip 3 copies of heal onto him, and they're free. I mean, like, that's that. It's so good. It's so good.
So I am, based on what you just said, I'm willing to move down to C on the basis that I think MP is neutral. It's just a choice for resource management. But what you're describing is fun, which is when a game tries to ditch it, that's fun because they just have to sort of remake the wheel a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I'm sort of, as I'm going through this, I'm coming to the opinion that MP is sort of like the zero thought default choice. It's like, I need spells to have a cost, because then why would I have anything other than spells? And like, well, the default is MP. It's never going to make a game bad, but I feel like it's got no inherent juice to make a game more fun. So I think it's a strong C. It's like an ideal C. Well, now that I've said that, it being next to Air Dash seems ridiculous. Maybe people were right to say we shouldn't have put Air Dash in C, but well, we did it. We can't go back and change.
It's fine.
It's fine. Anyway, what's next?
Can we, like, we're just on a level up tear. Let's just keep trucking down this road.
Why the hell not?
Job experience.
Job experience. Joe, I cannot get enough of job experience, and I'll tell you why. Second bar, second number. Just more time. The more numbers that there are to go up is always going to be more fun.
I love being reminded that I'm a stupid chimp because, like, the game is just like, this isn't XP. This is different. We're putting this word in front of it. And it's just like, oh, wow, I can't wait to grind this out.
I mean, you joke, but yes, like, there's job XP and infinite wealth. And, you know, you eventually get to a point in these games where leveling up takes so long. It's so rare that you level up. And it's you sort of lose the joy because you miss it. It's gone.
But then you switch to a brand new job, fight one thing, you level up 100 times. Yeah, it's the good shit for sure.
And also, it gives you, like, medium and short term goals. That's always so good. That's like when a RPG is truly cooking. It's when you have short, medium, and long-term goals.
You're
all
doing
at the same
project management. Like, legit, like, honestly, that's what it is. In your head, you have growth vectors, you have value streams. You would never call it these things, but that's what you're doing.
Yeah, like my OKR is that my summoner can summon Bahamut now.
Yes, yeah.
I love it. I'm big on job XP. I will think it's great.
The other thing I would like to add about job XP, it's because the implication there is that there's a job system, so you're going to have a good time.
Yes.
You have a game that's set up for you to be mixing and matching. Like, a job system means you're grabbing shit from jobs that aren't related, making them work, and just breaking the game, which is what, like, a party RPG is about.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm thinking, I'm torn between A and B. Obviously, it seems like A because it's really good, but I consider this. I don't know if it's at the same level as Levels, you know? Because there are great JRPGs without job experience, but without Levels, I would feel like I would miss Levels more than I would miss jobs. I feel like job XP is like we're getting nutty on top of the foundation, but like the foundation is more impactful than the toppings, you know?
Okay. I concede that. I'm willing to move to B.
Okay. Next up, normal XP. Normal experience. In my opinion, job experience makes normal experience look like shit.
It does. Also, because regular XP slows down, as we said previously. Like, towards the end of the game, you have to do so much grinding to get level ups. Whereas if you want the job XP bar to fill up fast, just switch to level 1 knight.
Yeah. That's free. I mean, even if you don't want your guy to be a knight, if it's like the knight does not synergize with this person's build at all, just for 1 or 2 battles as knight, just to get the thrill of seeing the number go level up to number 9. You're number 9 now. Wow. Also, another thing about XP is that XP sort of gives me the feeling of MP, which is that it's sort of just the zero thought.
It's a default. It is the default font in Word. It's fine.
There's a lot of ways that you can figure out when your character levels up. To go to Chrono Cross again, your characters level up when you do something significant in the plot. And that means that you can never get over or under leveled. And it also means that doing side quests is incentivized beyond just like the loot you get. Because if you do a side quest, well, you've done something significant, so you get a level up. It's incredible. I love that. I don't dislike XP, but yeah, I'm feeling the same thing about MP. I'm putting it in C.
And then can we do one? All the critters are waking up and yelling at me.
Yeah. Let's do one more, and this will be the final one. And I know I said we were gonna finish it, but like we're really close. We only have like a couple hundred left, so we're really close.
Okay, so for this next one. Tom has mentioned that he's playing Infinite Wealth, Yakuza.
So one of the things is that you have drink links with your friends where you share a drink with them.
Okay, so the mechanic we will now rank is when they animate someone drinking and their eyes stay open and their wrist looks fucked and the liquid looks fucked. So I hate this.
You hate it? Tell me more.
Because I did not play Infinite Wealth yet. What is it? Yakuza 6, where Kiryu has a baby. They sort of soft launch a little bit of the drink link stuff because you can like level up your relationship with party members over drinks. And the stories are good, they're compelling. It's just really funny that you have really well written stories and dialogue. And then like two people's wrists are just fucked as they talk.
I love this. This to me is like the rough edges of art that make things worthwhile. It's like this is like the human touch. This is like seeing the fingerprints in the clay and claymation. This is the kind of thing that AI wants to get rid of.
Well, AI can't do hands either, so.
Well, okay, but they would probably have someone close their eyes when they were throwing their head back to drink. It's so funny in Yakuza because the main characters have the faces are so incredibly detailed to look like real people.
Yeah, they're real human beings on like PS3 bodies with their fucked wrists.
Yes, and when they the liquid looks so like it's hard to even describe.
They're drinking Wave Race, Tom.
And this isn't just Yakuza. You'll recall anytime there's a bar scene. You've ever played Mass Effect and you go into the bar and they have to animate someone drinking, and like, I like
okay.
Animation in video games is so good these days. They can make it look incredible. But when someone is holding a big tumbler in their hand and like tries to like tilt it back to drink, it's just like someone needs to do something about that wrist joint. It's so wrong.
I'm coming around on this. The reason being, the specific thing you said was we see the seams in this. Like this is something's being made, and we're seeing how it's like fabricated, like the actual material. And you're right. I mean, this is the same reason why Gary's mod is funny. It's just like this is how the bodies fall because the game does this. Mm-hmm. So I guess it would be hypocritical of me to be like, oh, it looks like shit, I don't like it. When in reality, like, not unlike the Missables, I have something to talk about forever. Which is just like, look how fucked they are. And also I like when games sort of bump up against like the limits of, I don't mean like their technology, but just sort of like the limits of a game.
Yeah, of the project. Like, I'm sure that if they had infinite time and infinite money, you could animate someone drinking and their eyes would close.
And it would
or
overheat
at least their eyes.
PS5.
Yeah, at the very least, that's the thing. Their eyes are open and they're looking straight ahead, even as their head goes up.
So awesome.
And it like really looks ridiculous. And also, especially in Yakuza, every drink, every fucking lowball glass has one of those big spherical ice cubes in it, and that looks terrible.
Oh, it looks like shit. It's so funny.
It's so funny. This is like a current gen game. I'm playing it at the highest graphics, and like, man, that liquid looks terrible. I love it.
I do appreciate when you do like to-go bars or go into a restaurant. They don't show you like drinking what you order necessarily. You could just be like, I would like 100 lowballs. Thank you.
It's just like, blam, you did it. You're drunk now. Okay. It's funny that you would say Missables. I'm thinking either C or D, because if you put it on D, it's on the same tier as Missables. And while I'm happier about it than I am about Missables, I like it more, I do kind of feel like it's in the same sort of territory where it's like, this isn't going to make your game better. Have a light touch with this. You know? You don't want to have too much shit that's janky and fucked up, because then it's going to be like, well, this game is just janky and fucked up. But like, if it's just like a garnish, that's beautiful. And I think D tier stuff works best as a garnish. That's my thought on D tier. But it could be C tier because it might be better than Missables. What do you think?
It's a treat. There are many types of treats in video games. One of them is seeing freaks.
Yes.
And that just, I don't mean like the characters themselves are freaks. I just mean like they are, by virtue of being in a video game with an engine, are inherently clunky and scarecrow-like, even at its most advanced.
Yes.
Drinking aside, the Yakuza games are they look great, they're amazing, but like he still walks into walls in the funniest fucking way.
When you hit bench, the bench like goes 1,000,000 miles per hour straight into the air.
Yeah, and that to me like is good because it's like there's some jank to kind of keep me locked in.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with C. The thing I wanted to turn it around on you and ask you, it's like you could also argue probably that jank in certain areas just represents that they correctly prioritized other parts of the game.
Yo, okay, I like that. And we can't put that on the list because that's not a mechanic. That's like something that's priority setting during development, you know?
Yeah.
So we would, in order, if we wanted to, reward that, it would need to be wrapped into a mechanic, which that's what this is. This is, drinking where their eyes stay open and their wrist looks fucked and the liquid looks fucked. Like, that's great. But like, when you consider what that actually means in terms of the overall game development
all
process,
the other shit Yakuza does. Yeah. It would probably, if there was a guy who was too like tuned into making the drinks look good, they would hit him with sticks because he's like supposed to make all the mini games.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement, and I think because of this, it's gotta go C tier. So officially C tier for when they animate someone drinking and their eyes stay open and their wrist looks fucked and the liquid looks fucked. We like that shit.
Yeah, that's a universally understood mechanic as well.
Yeah.
You can go to Board Game Geek and search by that.
Hell yeah. Okay, so I think that's going to be enough mechanic ranking. Again, I thought we would be done with this one, but there are a few hundred mechanics still left on the list. So probably next time we do this, we're gonna finish. We're gonna have the full tier list. So just to review, our S tier currently is double jump and level up, so they say every stat change. Our A tier is levels and full heal on level up. B tier, jump, sliding dash. When you press jump when you land on an enemy and get a new jump instead of just doing a little bounce. Job EXP. C tier is air dash, MP, normal EXP. And when they animate someone drinking and their eyes stay open and their wrist looks fucked and the liquid looks fucked. D tier is missables. E tier is triple jump and junctioning GFs. And F tier is level up so they don't tell you anything. This is all objectively correct, and if you disagree, how dare you?
Yeah. I'm Joe, an anime sicko.
I'm Tom, an anime sicko. We'll keep ranking these suckers. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to Anime Sickos. I've been Tom, a sicko. You can follow me on Twitter at TomHarrison19. Joe is also a sicko. You can follow him on Twitter at ShariaUncle. You can follow Anime Sickos on Twitter at Anime Sickos or email us at animesickos@gmail.com. Please leave us a review or something. I don't know. Tell a friend. Anyway, until next time, bye.